morning, everybody, and welcome to a brand new year of your favorite segment on my channel, Out of the Vault. If you are new, let me just say welcome. It is a pleasure to have you, and for all of you loyal fans returning, I am so glad to have you back for the 8th year talking about Disney magic, whether it is canon classics, Disney Pixar, or Studio Ghibli. Even though they're not owned by Disney anymore, it was the reason why Studio Ghibli is well known and well loved over here in the United States. So it is definitely going to be a little bit different this year because we will not be doing this 12 times a year anymore. Rather, we will be doing this on a bi-monthly basis, so we will be doing 6 episodes of Out of the Vault a year, but we're definitely heading into a very exciting year. We are going to be hitting the 100th episode of Out of the Vault in 2021. I am just so amazed to know that we have reached this amazing milestone, and I really want to thank each and every one of you Disney fans out there who have joined me to discuss everything that is Disney magic. But also, it's going to be, hopefully, a year of nothing but new Disney, Pixar, and Ghibli releases. I know that I still have yet to see Soul because I am not a Disney Plus subscriber, but I have heard that that movie will be coming out on Blu-ray and DVD in the early portion of this year, God willing February, so I'm really looking forward to reviewing that movie for you in March. But we are going to be getting brand new movies like Raya and the Last Dragon, and Luca, and Encanto. It is just going to be so exciting to talk about some of these brand new Disney films for you all. It is just going to be great, and I'm just hoping that every single one of these new movies are going to be great. But as always, we still have to stick to tradition, and that is when we dive into the Disney archives and pull out something that does not fall within the realm of these specific categories that we discuss here on Out of the Vault, rather just a nice piece of Disney magic that is definitely loved or maybe sometimes even forgotten. And this movie came out in 2007, and it is Enchanted, starring a fantastic cast including the great Amy Adams, Patrick Dempsey, Timothy Spall, Jason Marsden, Idina Menzel, before I knew who Idina Menzel was, but I'm sure a lot of people already knew who she was, and Susan Sarandon. So, Enchanted is the Disney movie that made fun of Disney itself. It is the story of a young animated girl named Giselle who falls in love with Prince Edward, and they are about to officially get married and live happily ever after, but Prince Edward's stepmother does not want that to happen because she does not want to give the throne to her son. And so she banishes Giselle to what she believes is the worst place that you could ever banish a Disney animated princess to: New York City. That's exactly where Giselle goes. And when she is there, she meets a single dad named Robert and his 6-year-old daughter Morgan, who still very much believes in fairy tales, but Robert just wants his daughter not to believe in those things because he believes that believing in fairy tales and following your dreams only makes you weak, and he wants her to be strong. But it's really because of the fact that he knows deep down inside that he has suffered a great deal of loss, and he's not that strong. He doesn't always share important things with his daughter because he believes they're going to hurt her. Even though he's a very good father and very protective, he just doesn't feel that he wants to show her signs of vulnerability and weakness. And just by happenstance, he happens to encounter Giselle while she is trying to find some answers as to where she is and why she's here, and through that, she brings out the best in him, and he also lets a Disney princess know that life is not always about true love and that it doesn't always solve everything, but it is definitely a driving force to getting to where you want to go in life. So I remember seeing this movie in theaters, and I do remember having a really good time with it. It was just funny to really see Disney take all of its stereotypes and not necessarily brutally beat them with a hammer, but just definitely say to the audience, yeah, we know that some of these things are very far-fetched, and they're definitely not things that are always going to happen, so we're just going to let you all know that we get it, and we're going to give you a movie that shows you that we truly do understand. But the best part about this movie is all the Disney mannerisms that you see in this movie. Whether it is Giselle gathering a bunch of New York City vermin to help her clean Robert's apartment, or the poison apples, or the talking animals that are trying to talk, namely the chipmunk named Pip, who would have definitely been much more funnier actually talking in the real world, just because of what he acts like in the imaginary animated world. But just all of the funny things that happen throughout this movie are just things that Disney fans will laugh at and appreciate. There are also some beautiful songs, especially considering the fact that they got Alan Menken to write the score and also compose the songs. They really wanted to keep tight to those Disney elements. And the songs are also really cute too. And also, the ending of the film was definitely one that I would say was truly predictable, but it definitely was the ending that we wanted. And the best part is, outside of the truly evil people in this movie, everyone does actually get a happily ever after. I will definitely say that the cast was beautifully chosen. I love Amy Adams. I still remember seeing her for the very first time as an unknown actress in the Steven Spielberg classic Catch Me If You Can, and she is just so wonderful in that movie. But take a look at everything that she has done throughout her career. I mean, she has been in Academy Award-winning films and comic book films, and the fact that she did this Disney film, I think, was perfect for her, because I know she really does have a great singing voice, and that was definitely such a nice thing to actually see her do on screen. I also think one of the funniest things about that movie is that Idina Menzel, the Broadway starlet, who ends up becoming Princess Elsa in Frozen, doesn't even do a single bit of singing in this movie at all. That's just really, really funny. I also think the unsung hero in this movie is Timothy Spall. I mean, say what you will about him being Wormtail in the Harry Potter movies, I definitely like him as the, not necessarily villainous sidekick, but definitely the sidekick. He plays the role beautifully, and I also just love how Susan Sarandon and Jason Marsden truly ham up their roles as the typical storybook evil queen and prince. They really were funny. But also just seeing how they enveloped themselves in New York popular culture and tried to bring a little bit of that Disney magic to the streets of New York was also just delightful to watch. I would definitely say that if you haven't seen Enchanted before, it's exactly what you are expecting it to be. Just really go into it knowing that this is going to be in the vein of the true Disney canon classics of the past, just with a little bit of a twist. And also, if you can spot Jodie Benson in this movie, that is definitely something that's a real treat for Disney faithful. And also the fact that Julie Andrews, even though she doesn't show up that much in this film, she's the narrator of this film. They really hit all the right marks to really make this comedic statement on stereotypical Disney films, but also really wanted to try and do their very best to bring a lot of that Disney magic in to make it also stand out on its own to a degree. I definitely had a good time with this movie. It's definitely not a movie that I would plan on watching again and again and again. I mean, the last time I saw this movie, it was in theaters, but I had seen bits and pieces of it throughout these past couple of years, because it has been a long time since I've seen this film in its entirety. But it was charming, it was cute, it was funny. It's exactly something that holds true to the world of Disney. And it is not a movie that I'm going to own on DVD. But it is definitely one that I am willing to share with others. So if you have seen it, just put your comments in the box below. I'd love to chat with you about it. I'm going to be giving Enchanted 3 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching the first episode of Out of the Vault for 2021. I know it's going to be a little while until we see each other again to discuss Disney magic, but just know it's definitely going to be a monumental and spectacularly fun year. I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, feel free to leave a comment. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to be up to date with our latest videos. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.